Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redundancy back again, the one known as CR, with impromptu, but nevertheless important PSA from CR. Be ready, be prepared. This is specifically for my viewers and watchers on the North American continent right now, actually. Now, I've been doing some research on this, among some other things, and checking up on this. Hello. Good morning. So, just hear me out, everyone. Hear me out, right? It'll vary depending where you are right now. However, I will bring up something here. It's just this. I'm gonna bring this up. Let me bring this up here. This is from my Environment Canada. Alright, this is the current jet stream map for today, by the way. You can see that. You can see all these. And before I even say anything, I'm not a meteorologist or anything like that. But I'm doing my own research. Sorry. Getting a bunch of notifications. You can actually see these Arctic high pressure systems coming in from the north right now. And if you haven't heard already, there was some intense winds over on Vancouver Island. You know, I think I heard, 158 kilometer-hour winds? That's 98 miles per hour, by the way. You know, that's fairly intense. You know, prayers to the people out there, right? I know there's actually power outages out on the coast right now. I mean, obviously it subsided for a bit, but it was overnight, so there's probably still people without power right now, so keep them in your thoughts. And to think about this, if wind's coming in from the west on this coast side, right, and it's probably moist air because it's coming in from the Pacific with this Arctic high that's, you can see right there. Yeah, you don't see that white stuff. I'm even seeing it in the forecast myself right now. I'm expecting some. And I've been checking some of these other locations here in Canada. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna migrate eastward as, let's say, the weekend and such goes on. So I'm just gonna remove that off the screen right now. And it'll slowly migrate out east. Alright, let's see, what do we have here? Let's see, Holy, Naz, GP, Shawnee. Yes, that's just a calm. There is this projection where the end of the month you're gonna notice it. For some more people, if you haven't noticed it already, it's projected, and I've been checking the last couple days, and that projection is still in there. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna last forever. Supposedly, there's supposed to be it's not supposed to last that long. However, with that said, to be ready, right? To be ready. Don't get caught off guard. Like, even here in Canada, I've been seeing some of these stories out there, and, you know, from the news stations out there. I mean, for what it is. But some of the people were saying that, you know, you gotta be ready for it. You know, get the snow tires on and such. Get your shovels out if you're expecting it. It really does depend where you are, right? And it may, how do I say? anticipate it. Anticipate it. Be ready for it. Because technically, we are supposed to be transitioning to La Nina season right now. Period of time, right? And I just believe this is just a start of something. You know, the first wave, whatever you want to call it. Because like I know there's these Arctic high pressure systems in the north right now, and that cold air is sinking in time throughout the next week or so. Let's see what you guys are saying here. All right. All right, just making sure. Yeah. So something to keep in mind right now, and I appreciate everyone that heard my actual PSA announcement over on my community board. I figured I wanted to come on live, share this with you folks. The stream won't be extremely long, because I'm not planning to do this really long, but I want to get the information out, because I could see it coming out west there. You know, like I said, there's already been major winds out on the coastline. Like, it just happened, like, overnight. Right now. Lots of people are without power right now. And they, you know, I think some of the news articles kind of said, you know, people were saying, like, stuff like, you know, the people that were more prepared, you know, are better off. Because they have, like, an alternative or contingency plan or source of, let's say, cooking heat, stuff like that, that they can dip into while their quote-unquote primary source is kind of coming back online. Something to keep in mind. Like, even for me, as I'm looking at the extended forecast right now, I'm planning for this, that white stuff. Like, I actually might see, like, maybe even half a foot. We'll actually see. Honestly, these are all projections. Projections, right? They're not set in stone yet. However, I'm going to be proactive here and do what I can in advance as much as I can, because I don't want to be caught with my pants down on it, right? You know, here in Canada, you know, I expect this in time. It just, this time around, we're going to see it kind of in that kind of earlier, you know, end of this month, beginning of next month kind of deal. You know, and, you know, hopefully it'll just be short term. You know, I'm not expecting anything long term, but just to be proactive, I'm going to do something in advance. And, I mean, I've already technically gotten my winter shovels out. But amongst some other things, I might consider, just in case, because I might actually see this other thing happen next month. I might see that freeze and fall cycle come back next month. So I might, not this month, probably bring out the ice cleats, but maybe next month I'll start bringing them out. Or at least have them, you know, on my back step, just in case. Let's see. Hello, sunflowers. I see you all in there. Because I've actually, like I said, I've actually taken a look at some of these places on the extended forecast. I'm like, yes, it actually kind of looks more or less the same. Like I said, just to bring this back up here, right? This is dated for today, by the way. You can see it's valid for, well, until Thursday, but because I know one thing's for sure, alright? When cold Arctic air meets warm, moist air, you have the tendency to get precipitation in the form of the white stuff. So I'm trying to be proactive about it as much as possible, you know. So I got this, like I said, I got my shovels out already, doing that kind of stuff. Amongst some other things I can utilize. Perhaps I'll even check the snowblower in advance just to make sure it's running, just in case. I might need to dip into that, right? Maybe, maybe not, depending how it goes, right? Depending how fast it comes down and for how long and such. Let me just remove that off the screen here, so I can actually see the chat here. Good morning, Uncle. Yeah, Uncle. I'm listening. All right. I'm seeing the signs of what's coming. I mean, like I said, there's the system just hit on the West Coast, here in Canada, anyways. Right. Hold on, Vancouver Island. People, it's already reported, right? That news is already out there from this morning. And like I said, if that wind's coming in, it's probably pushing in Pacific, warm, moist Pacific air, which means it's not travel over the mountains, and it'll probably, like, yeah, that stuff will probably, and it'll probably mix in or, you know, interact with that Arctic air, and yeah, you know what happens. So, I know, Uncle L. I'm just, this is why I'm saying this as a PSA. I'm like, yeah, that's why I wanted to come on live to say it too, not just right in my community board. I appreciate the people that saw that community board post, right? And like I said, be ready in advance. You know, it'll vary from area to area because obviously I'm talking about most of Western Canada. Let's see. Oregon, Montana, Minnesota. I don't know my U.S. geography that well. Now, I'm not saying it's not. We're probably not gonna see that kind of thing back in 2021 in Texas. Probably not, but I don't think it's gonna actually linger that long. But I do know that cold Arctic air is sinking, and it will sink a little bit more as the week goes on into next week. Because I keep seeing this, I'm like, yeah, it keeps dipping, and then we'll get some relief later next month. So yes, exactly. Well, look at you, Holly. Look at you. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, be ready in advance. I'm trying to do what I can here. Like I said, got my shovels out amongst some other stuff. Probably check the snowblower later today. If not today, then tomorrow. And the thing is, another thing is to do this stuff in advance. All right, it's kind of hard to put the snow tires on when it's already kind of like, you know, half a foot. Right? Do this in advance if you haven't already, especially if you're in these areas that are more likely to receive it. Because like I said, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I might even see more of it this weekend, personally here. And some of these places have already received it, and some of these places, because I've seen it down, let's see, like I said, here in Canada, I've noticed it in the last couple of days, where I'm like, yep, down in Calgary, here in Canada, the white stuff came down. A lot of quote unquote issues, congestion on the roads. You know, vehicles stalled out, unable to move. You know, I know what, you know, for anyone that drives, commutes, or anything like that, you know, take a little bit more time, take that extra 10, 15 minutes in advance. You know, expect delays. You know, especially if you're traveling when it's actually, like, the precipitation is falling, for example. Especially, you know, if the roads aren't clear. You know, there's the white stuff on the road or whatever, right? Might be more slippery than usual. You know, and of course, if it's the first time or the first time of the year, you know, people are still adjusting to it, right? You know, Always give that extra distance, you know. And it doesn't even matter if you're a good driver, right? It doesn't matter how good you are as a driver. There could be someone else, all right? Someone else that, you know, maybe is newer at it, all right? Maybe some people that just got their license earlier in the year, right? It's going to be their first winter in terms of driving, right? So give yourself that extra time. You know, the windshield washer stuff. Like I said, the shovels and stuff like that. Of course, having your fuel tank as full as possible, right? Pacific Express, okay. Noted. Hello, Nature's Grows. I see you in there. Yeah, I decided to go for a vertical just because I'm doing this not that long. It's not gonna be that long. What's up, James? See you in there. Yeah, that's what I heard. 158 kilometers an hour. That's 98 miles per hour for you guys in the US. All right. You know, that's extremely strong wind. Extremely strong. You know, and like I said, that was over on the West Coast right now. You know, obviously it's subsided, but there is still some weather advisories or warnings out there right now, right? Because it still doesn't take time for them to, you know, get the power back on, the primary source of power back on. And the people that have alternative or contingency sources are probably better off right now. They still have an option when the primary option isn't available. Hence, about being ready, being prepared. That's why I used it as the thumbnail. And it's in the description. Yeah, that too. Yeah, just have to scroll carefully. Yeah. Let's see, did I miss anything in there? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I'll go for a couple more minutes or not that much longer. I just wanted to make sure everyone's getting ready and check up on you guys too, because I care. That's why I'm actually doing this kind of PSA, personal service announcement, you know? And take everything with a grain of salt, right? Do your own research. I'm doing my own research. I'm looking ahead. But the more important thing is to be ready in advance. Do this before the stuff comes, right? We're lucky enough, modern society, modern tech, right? We could see a couple things in advance, you know, or a trend that may be developing, right? You know, maybe what happens will be a little bit less, but it could be more too. You know, there's variables that can change that really quickly. So you want to be ready in advance and not be caught with your pants down, as they say. Because, you know, you don't want to be on the side of the road unnecessarily, right? If you don't have to travel unnecessarily. For example, when it eventually happens, like I said, there's probably going to be a bunch of white stuff out west here. Pretty sure. I mean, I know the temperature, it's well below seasonal out west right now. You know, it's like a good 10 so degrees below seasonal. And I'm planning ahead myself. You know, I'm not just saying this stuff. I'm actually planning to, like, pull out a few warmer jackets. Because right now I've been transitioning in from this kind of quote-unquote fall or just slightly below freezing type of clothing. Although I may dip into and bring out some additional warmer actual winter clothing, like for when it's actually cold, or what I consider as cold, you know. For example, Oh, I see Iron Firehorse. Well, hopefully you can get a hold of them, check up on them. Hopefully they're doing well. Hopefully they have some supplies and such to get them going or keep them going. No, I'm not. I'm just. I haven't even searched like that, Uncle. I'm doing this other kind of research, looking at the trend right now and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it's warm out east right now. Still, technically, it's well above freezing right now, in that kind of 10, 50 Fahrenheit zone. However, like I said, this cold dark air will gradually migrate east within time. I don't, how down south it migrates, but do expect some cooler temperatures, right? So be ready in advance, as much as you can. Hi, Howie. See, when the people that actually went through that. All right. You just got your snow tires on? Nice. In advance, right? Because when that stuff is already falling, it's probably not the time to go get them changed. Do this kind of more or less in advance, like at least a day or two in advance. And get them ready, and adjust to the weather conditions. All right, as they say. I see. So, does anyone else want to add in? Like I said, I'll go to like that couple more minutes here, or maybe at the 25-minute mark. This stream is not. I'm not gonna make this long because I want the information to be out there. And the more important thing is to be ready, prepared in advance of anything I say. Anything to take from this is to be ready in advance. For example, as I think that's the more important thing here, to expect, cooler conditions, and such. I'm expecting the white stuff, a little bit more of it, so I'm gonna get ready for that. Oh, and supposedly it's supposed to get a lot colder. A lot colder. It will actually probably make today feel warm compared to like next week. Kind of expect that to happen. Yeah. Yeah. I heard about that too. Oh, that's good, Howie. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, so, especially after you did that air stream earlier today, I was like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta chime in on it. Because, I mean, really, I live in Canada, here in Canada, right? I know, like, it's going to happen in time. Like I said, except for this time around, we're seeing it kind of earlier in the year. Well, in the season, I should say, right? Usually, I don't usually see this until like December. However, we are transitioning into La Nina technically, so balance or less. We're just seeing kind of that little bit less in terms of temperature and all this stuff. Yeah, that too, Uncle, yeah. I'm looking at you, Iron Firehorse. Yeah, west to east, yeah. Alright, these systems travel from the west to the east. So, yeah, everyone. Well, Iron Firehorse, I don't know if you're gonna say that, like, later on in the season. We'll see if you still say that. Yeah, you were saying that. And like I said, 158 kilometers per hour is 98 miles per hour. That's very strong wind. Very, very strong. It's very, very high on the Beaufort wind scale. Right? That's like 12. That's like 12. You know, well, technically it's hurricane strength. So yeah. So remember, everyone, be proactive out there, prepared. You know, look at what happened to some other people already. Some people have already lost power. Maybe, you know, they're working in trying to get it back, you know, getting the primary systems back online, right? And hopefully you have some alternative contingency plans, methods, right, that you can dip into if absolutely necessary, right? Hopefully you don't need it, but it'll be there just in case things metaphorically go south. Or maybe I should say north. You know what I mean. Herman Earth, I see you in there. Yeah. Wow. You have 150,000 without hydro or power. I'm assuming that's homes, right? Yeah, I'm assuming that you mean homes. In terms of households. Wow, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. I mean, I've seen briefly some of the footage out there. I was just like, yeah, that's a lot of damage. It'll take some time to recover from that for what it is, right? And then another thing is, this is why we prepare, be ready in advance. So while that primary system is coming back online, people are doing what they can, right? We have something in advance, an alternative or contingency of methods and plans in place in advance to be proactive. Okay, I see my Earth. Yeah, homes, yeah. 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 Still apocalypse is unclose. Yeah, that's what I've been like saying this out too, because I'm like, I could see the metaphoric writing on the wall. You know, because like I said, the system's coming in from west east. You know, I can already see the Arctic air. The temperatures already plummet well below freezing here, and below seasonal values here, and such. Places have already received more white stuff, you know, and such, and already seen kind of people not being as ready as they could be, you know. And like I said, if you're driving, you know, give more distance, more stopping distance, right? You know, don't assume the person in front of you is going to stop instantly, you know. Give them a little bit more, and give yourself more time, right? Or what I call the buffer zone. Yeah, that's good, that's good. 31 Fahrenheit is what? -1 Celsius? So yeah, that is below freezing. Okay, Howie. I guess I might as well go to the to the 30-minute mark now. I'm already halfway, almost there. So 2-minute warning on this stream. And I appreciate everyone dropping by and sharing a few things too, right? Sharing a few things too. Because, like, the reason really why I'm doing this is not just for the channel, but for you guys out there, right? To be more ready as much as possible, you know? Even if you got stuff, right? You know, don't jinx it, right? Like I said, don't jinx it, alright? Like I said to Howie, don't jinx it, you know? Because some people out there may be in a worse position, or could be in a worse position, right? So you want to be part of the, you know, proactive side of things as much as possible, right? Okay, Merv. Yeah, I see, Howie, yeah. Anyways, everyone, go out there, and I appreciate everyone dropping by. Go out there and do something proactive, because things are changing out there, but we can be proactive and adapt too. Skill and knowledge get better with practice, and you gain more experience when you're actually trying stuff and doing stuff, right? I know you can't help everyone out there, but try to help who you can, right? Just like how I'm spreading this word out in terms of being doing a PSA. So everyone, I'll catch you on the next time in your streams, the side chats, comment section. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.